When we did the first visit, like the first site visit here, when I was here, of course, I was very um, humbled by the beauty of the place, by the beauty of the house, as well as the green, the park surrounding it. Our earliest conversations were about how to think a possible choreography or the possible trajectory of the people through the different spaces, and in this interplay between the very inside of the house and then this in between inside, meaning that you are in the corridor inside but you still have a view towards the outside, and also where we are now completely in the outside areas, and how to recompose not these areas because as such they exist and they have been beautifully thought by the architect, but how to cut through these areas and compose the possible trajectory of the viewer. I think the architecture is important in my work because it produces the encounter between the work and the viewer. And I think this is important also because you enable the subjectivity of the others to participate in the subjectivity, in the many subjectivities or possible ways of appreciating or understanding, or in any case encountering the exhibition. When I think of sound, I do not think of it only as the beginning of a work. It's always at the beginning of any of my ideas. Sound is an important element. I also think of it in the way how it arrives to the listener. And so the way how it arrives to the listener, it's not only depending on how it was recorded to start with, but also how you stage it again in the exhibition site. The use of music or it does not become that does not have a referential use. I don't use music in terms of I'm using this piece because it meant that and that and that, but I always work with it as if it was a being, and then I do things to it like one do things with a being. The way how I film or how I record, I'm always interested in the moment before music happens. So this is very important for me to the moment just before, where music is not yet a product to be shared, but is one's effort negotiating the moment where he or she is, negotiating this present moment. What is at the core of all the pieces that use these drums that I call the doldrums, whether they are standing or whether they are suspended or hanging upside down? At the core of it is this desire to make sound visible and to use them as visual speakers. For me, the idea of the doldrums is also like what is the fear of, or used to be the fear of the sailors when wind was the only energy who was enabling the ship to go from a place to another. And following in the doldrums meant being in these moments where suddenly all wind dies. It's like a dead, and the ship cannot advance anymore, and therefore water, the reserves of water might finish, reserves of food, and people might meet their death because of the doldrums. But doldrum means that you never know how long it will go, and all of a sudden an event could happen again. Wind could happen again. So that's why I use this idea of the doll drums, but also because it relates a lot with the idea of drums, doll drums. The work was done for this exhibition, and it was exactly, I thought of it also thinking of the area where I wanted to put it. So there are 4 drums. I forgot to mention that it's a composition for 3 wind instruments like saxophone, trombone and clarinet, and percussion. They are responding to the sounds and the frequencies of the voices or the instruments that they represent. In my work, I'm not interested in what I know. I'm interested in what I don't know, or what I don't know how to deal with, versus what I know too well how to do. I'm less interested in explicitness. I'm more interested in in things that happen and become, instead of things which are projected as a product already, as a bubble of communication.